Good morning, second graders. Yesterday we finished up our unit on counting coins. Today we are going to introduce counting chains. This is Luca's chains. Luca's class counts the days of school. Every day they add one clip to their chain. They make chains of 10. So you can see, second graders, that each chain of 10 alternates colors between blue and red. And here is a look at how many chains they have to represent today, the number of days they have been in school. How many days has Luca's class been in school? Well, we know there are 10 clips in each chain, so we can count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Luca's class has been in school for 100 days. After they counted their clips, Luca connected their 10 chains together. So he took all of those rows of 10 and he clipped them together to make one long chain. What do you notice after he connected them all into one big chain? Now their chain has blank clips in all. How many? Do they still have 100? Let's count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. They still have 100. They're just clipped together and put in one big long line. Now there are even more links for Luca's chain. Luca's class has been in school for 100 days. That's a pretty long chain. But the class saw that they had a lot more clips left over to use. So they decided to see how long of a chain they could make with all of their clips. Luca's class made 10 chains in all. Some were red, some were blue. And each chain has 100 clips. So now, instead of having chains of 10, now the class has chains of 100. On this slide, second graders, you can click and drag the chains of 100 around to connect them. So you can do that when you are working on your own on these slides. The class connected their 10 chains of 100, and they placed index cards where they connected each chain of 100. So you can see here, this is an index card with a label, and the number on the card tells how many clips from the end up until that point. Okay, so next, what number would they have written on this card if it was from the end of the chain up until this point? Each of these chains are worth 100. Your job is to fill in the missing numbers on these index cards and tell us how many clips are there in all in this chain. If you counted correctly and labeled on the previous slide, you would see that there were 1,000 clips in their really long chain. You can see in this picture where I'm highlighting that the clip they're using is about the length of my thumb. Okay, so think about if that is the size of a clip. If they have 1,000 clips, will the chain be shorter than me? So shorter than yourself, shorter than a second grader. Will the chain be longer than my classmates and I when we line up? So if we had all 12 of our classmates in line, would our chain of 1,000 be longer than that? And we will be able to stretch the chain out end to end within our classroom. So do you think if we laid out 1,000 clips, would that fit within our classroom? You are going to click and drag the star to all of the statements that you think are true. Looking down, they couldn't stretch the 1,000 clip chain out in their classroom. It was even longer than that. So Luca and Michael took the chain to a park. They stretched it out along the grass, making a straight line from 0 to 1,000. Then they climbed up a tree to a treehouse and looked down. They could see the whole chain and the labels for each group of 100. So you can see there that on the index cards, they filled in counting by 100s until they reached 1,000. But now they are also labeling how many groups of 100. We can see here that they labeled the first group of 100, 1. This is the second group of 100. This would be 2. Can you fill in and see how many chains of 100 they could see from the treehouse?